If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. It was supposed to be the year the Cleveland Browns finally broke through. With one of the most talented rosters in the NFL, a defensive unit feared by quarterbacks across the league, and a coaching staff praised for its discipline and creativity, the stage was set. But the storylines coming out of Cleveland aren't about postseason runs or MVP campaigns. Instead, the headlines are darker, more personal. And the latest shockwave has the entire NFL world holding its breath. Myles Garrett, the face of the Browns defense, has dropped a bombshell. He refuses to play alongside cornerback Denzel Ward ever again. That's not a trade rumor. That's not a misunderstanding. That's a direct statement from the team's defensive leader, and it changes everything. For a franchise that has spent years trying to shed its image of dysfunction, this might be the most alarming sign, yet that chaos is alive and well inside the Cleveland locker room. Garrett didn't mince words when addressing the media. With a stern face and a voice devoid of his usual composure, he confirmed what sources around the league had only whispered. His relationship with Denzel Ward has completely broken down. "I've given everything to this organization," Garrett said, his eyes locked on the press. "But I won't share a field with someone who I no longer trust. Not on a personal level, not on a professional one." The Browns star edge rusher didn't go into full detail about what caused the rift, but insiders close to the team describe a long simmering tension that finally exploded during a heated team meeting last week. That confrontation, which allegedly turned personal and included harsh accusations, marked the breaking point for Garrett. What had once been a brotherhood on defense has now fractured into open conflict, and it's the kind of turmoil that doesn't just go away with a couple of wins. What's even more stunning is the timing. The Browns were finally building momentum. Garrett had been playing at a Defensive Player of the Year level, while Ward, despite battling injuries, remained one of the top shutdown corners in the game. Together, they anchored a unit that kept the Browns in playoff contention even when the offense sputtered. Fans saw them as warriors, two elite athletes who bled orange and brown. But behind the scenes, things were unraveling. Teammates noticed the tension. Film sessions became colder. On-field communication between the two stars reportedly ceased entirely. And now, with Garrett's public stance, the Browns are facing an impossible situation. Trading one of them would send shockwaves through the roster. Keeping them both could poison the locker room. And letting things fester? That could end the season before it even reaches December. The questions now fall squarely on head coach Kevin Stefanski and GM Andrew Berry. How do you handle a situation where two of your most important players are no longer willing to coexist? In most franchises, the response would be clear: prioritize the locker room, find a trade partner, move on. But in Cleveland, it's complicated. Garrett is not only a generational talent, he's also the soul of this defense. He's the player fans rally behind, the one who sets the tone in practice, who leads in the weight room. Losing him, even in a blockbuster trade, would tear the heart out of this team. Ward, on the other hand, is a two-time Pro Bowler, a homegrown star with deep ties to the city. The idea of moving either one is a nightmare for a front office that believed it had finally found a championship core. But after Garrett's declaration, they may not have a choice. What remains unclear is the full origin of the feud. Some whispers point to issues of leadership and accountability. That Ward, according to sources, questioned Garrett's approach in closed-door meetings. Others say it was a clash of egos, with both players wanting to assert dominance within a defensive unit that thrives on intensity and aggression. Whatever the spark, it's clear the fire has consumed any remaining goodwill. Teammates have reportedly been forced to choose sides, creating a divide that stretches beyond just Garrett and Ward. There are rumors that younger players feel caught in the middle, unsure of how to navigate a locker room split between two alpha personalities. Some have even expressed concern to team leadership, worried that the tension will derail what was shaping up to be a playoff-caliber season. Meanwhile, social media has erupted. Browns fans are divided, with some supporting Garrett's decision to draw a line in the sand, while others accuse him of abandoning the team. "This isn't what leaders do," one popular fan page wrote, while another countered with, "Garrett's earned the right to speak his truth." Denzel Ward, for his part, has remained mostly silent, issuing only a brief statement through his agent. Denzel is committed to the Browns, to his teammates, and to winning football games. But the silence speaks volumes. Ward's absence from recent promotional events and voluntary sessions hasn't gone unnoticed. Neither has the fact that the team's social media channels have quietly stopped featuring the two stars together. It's as if the organization is already preparing for a future where one, or both, are gone. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. The media circus is only getting louder. National analysts are weighing in daily. Former players have chimed in, many echoing the sentiment that something deeper must have gone wrong. "This isn't just about football," said one ex-Browns linebacker on a national talk show. "This is personal. And when things get personal, they rarely get patched up." Trade speculation has already begun, with teams like the Texans and Cowboys rumored to be monitoring the situation closely. The idea of Myles Garrett in another uniform is hard to imagine, almost unthinkable, but this is the NFL. Loyalty lasts only as long as chemistry does. And in Cleveland, chemistry just went up in smoke. For the Browns front office, time is running out. The trade deadline may be in the rearview mirror, but off-season planning starts now. They must assess the damage, gather the full picture from coaches and veteran players, and decide who their locker room will rally behind. The decision will define not just the rest of this season, but the next era of Browns football. There's talk of mediation sessions, of team-building retreats, of one-on-one sit-downs with Stefanski. But the truth is, once a player like Garrett goes public with a line that firm, the door rarely swings open again. His words were a thunderclap, not just for fans, but for ownership, too. Jimmy and Dee Haslam now have to confront a grim reality. Their stars are at war, and there might be no truce coming. There's also the question of legacy. Myles Garrett was supposed to be the Browns' answer to Aaron Donald, a once-in-a-generation force who would lead the team into an era of relevance. Denzel Ward was drafted to be his partner in crime, locking down receivers while Garrett chased quarterbacks. They were Cleveland's dynamic duo, a symbol of how the franchise had turned the corner. If it all ends like this, with public fallout, locker room drama, and one walking out the door, it's more than just a personnel issue. It's a reputational hit, one that reinforces the old stereotypes about dysfunction in Cleveland. And that matters, especially for a franchise still trying to shake off decades of being the NFL's punchline. As the dust continues to settle, one truth is clear. Something has broken within the Cleveland Browns. Not on the scoreboard, not in the stat sheet, but deep within the heart of the team. Myles Garrett's declaration marks more than a rift between two elite defenders. It's a sign that, for all the talent this team possesses, chemistry and culture remain fragile. And in a league where success hinges on unity, trust, and shared purpose, that fragility can be fatal. Whether the Browns can recover from this will depend not just on trades or roster moves, but on soul-searching, leadership, and a willingness to confront hard truths. Because now, the battle isn't just on Sundays. It's in the locker room, behind closed doors, where champions are truly made or broken. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!